Speaking of the law I first mentioned, that's Christopher Columbus's statue, the founder of America, the person that found America. Here he is beheaded in this, and they're crushing his head off because somebody hates the founders, the root, the foundation of America. At Minnesota's state capitol, he was torn down. In Boston, beheaded. Now, what's funny about Christopher Columbus and his statues is it was my friend Mike Hughes that actually discovered one of Christopher Columbus's ships. It's a small little factoid. There he is there. There's a black man that's going to give testimony of how destroyed he is that people are doing this to these statues on the news. Also, George Washington, your first president of the United States. Who is it that is funding there to be communist symbols? So it's not just the Black Lives Matter symbol, but communist symbols to be spray painted and defaced, even carved and knifed into statues of the founding fathers of America.
Jose Armas, born in Cuba and now an American citizen and Miami local, rubbing away.
I don't like the people doing this.
And by the way, people like Nancy Pelosi, just a few months ago when they were impeach, they say, but nay, they were trying to impeach Trump. They were every other word out of their mouth was about the founding fathers. Oh, this is what the founding fathers would want us to do. But now they're in support of Black Lives Matter, who is destroying symbols of the founding fathers. Who's paying for all this?
With his own rag, Armas says he's wiping off signs like this hammer and sickle that remind him of communist Cuba.
I don't like the communists. No me gusta el comunismo.
Christopher Columbus and Juan Ponce de Leon statues in Bayfront Park covered with graffiti after some not-so-peaceful protests last week.
Look, there wouldn't be white people or black people here if it weren't for that man right there.
That's right.
And I think it's interesting in this shot, there's an American flag flying above the beheaded Christopher Columbus. Look, here's the bottom line of this. Look, this ain't a game. This is real. White people, black people, you're going to have to drop the racism bit. Look, the parties that are trying to drive you apart, the quicker you realize you are in this together. Look, you didn't pick this game. But boy, you better believe me when I tell you, you are on the board.
That's right.
And your moves matter. You're in this together. The parties that want to drive you apart, and they're good at it. They've been thinking about this a long time. Now, here's the bad news for them. God has been thinking about this. The God that they don't believe in has been thinking about this a long time. Just like Moses over here in the Exodus. When he was standing there on the shore of the Red Sea and the waters parted and they couldn't believe it. Look, this does not end the way that the party is behind the scene. Eventually, you're going to get to what you're reading and the parts of the story that people are trying to mimic the book of Revelation with all of the little stuff in the games. I'm not stupid. Reading with understanding the prophetic things to everybody of service. In fact, understanding history as opposed to burning it and tearing it down is a fairly good move, even for people on top. I might recommend it, but we're all on the board, actually, in truth. Man, this may be one of the more important videos that I make. The quicker you can drop any of the stuff that they're throwing at you, hey, look this way, look that way, look the other way, distraction, the better. Where she's bowed down to Black Lives Matter over here. It's almost like somebody's putting pressure on these people. You failed us. Get down on your knees. But is it really Black Lives Matter she's bowing down to?
No,
politically, what's
Satan.
going on? It grieves their heart because they know there is a better way.
The South
If you're
African
bowing down
pastor
to
here, his
any
name
of
is
these
Jerry
movements,
DeSoma.
you're bowing down to
Pastor
Satan.
of the Needville Church. Needville is a town just outside of Houston, Texas. Yeah. So, and that's what did you say you had a prophetic thing about America that there would be, I thought maybe I heard that or
No.
But
We believe amongst the circles that I'm involved
yes,
in.
he did the funeral services for my cousin, Caleb Rule. Caleb and I both come from, our grandfather was a Assemblies of God pastor all his life, did the Kids Crusades. It's called the Golden Rule family, Golden Rule. A lot of people out there rioting and doing all of this, they aren't following. It doesn't look like too many people are following the Golden Rule. Do you know what the Golden Rule is? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That comes
That's
after
right.
the book of Matthew. Caleb's brother's name was Matthew.
Live
Isn't
by
that
it.
interesting? Just a little factoid. The word gold is used quite a lot in these particular prophecies, and in a metaphoric sense, gold is surrounding the name of Donald Trump quite a bit in these prophecies. But gold also always has, well, just a literal sense to it. Let me ask you a question.
So we see this network that God is busy doing in America, because I don't believe, a lot of time people believe that God is judging America. I don't believe so. I believe that God is preparing America as the
He's
breadbasket of the mission
preparing us.
to take out the message of salvation to the global world.
Yes.
Say. And so, but
Which
I
would be
believe-
the reverse of many people's plans, probably.
No, to a large degree, because a lot of people are seeing destruction, and we're
Right.
seeing revival, we're seeing refreshment, we're seeing that God is going to do something supernaturally with America that is going to really affect the world in a very positive way. And God's not done with America. God is busy reviving what He started out when America first came into being. You understand?
To people that own things that are getting destroyed, or lands that are being taken away from them wrongfully. So that would be not following the golden rule. And also people that should have their things restored, and a division between the two. So let me ask you a simple boilerplate question. There's an old saying, the greed should perish. Greedy people that take other people's gold. Should your gold, notice how I phrase that, your gold, belong to the ANC government of South Africa, as well as the CCP of China? That's where it's going right now. Or does it belong to you, the people paying for a lot of all of this? Just a question.
But the transcription of God upon the